Smart 24, driving business.
Every new day brings new opportunities for you to conquer the business world. Start your day with a show that will drive your business. Be the first to know the latest prices around town, the latest business information around the country and the world. We bring you in-depth analysis with exclusive interviews from key players. And of course, wouldn't you want that for your morning? Get up to speed with what is trending in the business world, all in one morning show. Smart Means Business with your favorite guy, Joram Paul Sonko, every weekday, Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 10:50 a.m. as we drive you into the business world. This is Smart 24.
Smart 24, driving business. Smart24, driving business.
So technical issues into our transmission, but that's something that has been resolved. Let's get straight into the press release, and I'm going to start with the New Vision. I was looking through here, and that's something that was so interesting for the Ugandan out there, and in particular, if you're a student of information technology, Ugandan students to get tech skills. That's from Spain, technology skills from Spain. And according to the report here in the New Vision, each year, students will be sending, of course, people to represent them to Spain to attain practical skills and improve their social capital and get the advantage of understanding different cultures, which they could use in other aspects of life. And you can see this time around, technology very important. I've seen quite a number of students into the universities, right? They're coming up with quite amazing innovations, but the only challenge has been that they just lack an element of being trained, the element of being guided, and of course inspired, which is very, very important. So this initiative whereby the Ugandan students will be getting skills from Spain, it's quite something very influential, and it's very good news for the students out there to engage into these services. And of course, information technology is very key in terms of economic growth and development because it cuts across all the sectors which are key to building an economy. And of course, as we continue here, as a result, for Ugandan students who are currently pursuing science courses have been selected for a study opportunity that's in Spain, where they will acquire skills in technological innovations. The students will be enrolled at UCAM. That's a university right there in Spain, where they will be enrolling. Of course, it's a private university institution located at Marusha, that's in southeastern Spain. They got the opportunity after coming up with impactful research and technological innovations. Some time back, I was interacting with one of the tech leaders at one of the innovation hubs in the nation, and he was talking about the aspect of commercialization of innovations. And something he mentioned was about, as an innovator, right there, you make sure that actually your innovation provides solutions to the society, being very impactful. You don't just innovate just for the sake of innovating, but it should be having an impact. And now, another story that was so quite interesting here in the New Vision, as the Minister of Finance, that's Matia Kasaija, says Uganda is on a path to economic that's recovery. Uganda's economy is on the path of recovery with an economic growth of 4.6%. That's registered in the financial year 2021-2022. That's 2022, that financial year. Finance Minister Matia Kasaija said the growth is projected to further rise to 5.5% in the current financial year. So projection growth of 5.5% into the current financial year expected for the country's economy to blossom. He said Uganda's economy is also resilient, that even when economic growth declined to 3.5% during the COVID-19 lockdowns, it was much better than the economies of other countries. And of course, this is him saying, giving his opinion regarding the resilience of Uganda's economy towards disasters. It could be economic disasters. And when I talk about resilience, it's the ability to counteract a disaster, and it doesn't affect you as how much it ought to affect you. This is the Minister of Finance giving us this breakdown regarding the country's resilience. He said most economies were below 3.5% range, with many of them experiencing negative growth. Kasaija made the remarks during the 60th Economic Growth Forum at Kampala. That was at Serena Hotel yesterday. The forum brought together development partners, government entities, researchers, the civil society, and private sector at large also at the same time. And now let me cross over to the Daily Monitor. I'm done with the New Vision. right there. And there is a report here as village health teams tired of working for free. That's of course a complaint being put across by the leaders. A total of 280,000 village health team members are tired of working for the government for free. A section of health officials in districts and political leaders have come out to warn. And when we talk about the village health team, we mean these people that normally work into serving health-related, providing health-related solutions to the rural areas, majority go immunize people, those massive government projects in terms of impacting the health of the rural communities. These are the people that normally participate. Of course, the leaders issued the warning yesterday in the meeting between the district leaders and the Ministry of Health officials, that is at Entebbe. The meeting looked at how government can revitalize the village health teams to promote immunization and disease prevention at household levels and curb the increasing pressure on health facilities and new health workers. And of course, they're trying to revise things on how this can be curbed onto this aspect. Since the initiation of the village health teams, a strategy that was in 2001 by the Ministry of Health, many of them have been serving as volunteers, and with the hope that the government would start paying them on a monthly salary. That's what is coming out right there from the people, from the village health team members, right there, that are saying that they are tired of working for free. Of course, as I was looking through here, I'm going to wind this up with, still in the Daily Monitor, I'm going to wind it up with President Museveni urging people to do something for the economy. He says, do something for the economy. President Yoweri Museveni, who is also Commander-in-Chief of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, of course, said army officers retiring from the active service should use the opportunity to create wealth for themselves. And now that the government is able to send them off with some good remuneration. So despite, that's quite a very strong advice from the president right there. I'm not sure that despite the fact that you retired from serving, it's very important that you do something for the economy. You can participate into an economic activity right there. You earn an income for yourself, but also you pay the tax to help the growth and development of the economy. In a statement, he said, you have done my work. This is President Yoweri Museveni. These are President Yoweri Museveni's words, in quotes. You have done my work. Now go do something in the economy. So interesting. Go do something for the economy. He's sending them out there after retiring. Go do something for the economy in these last years of their last years of retirement. Museveni, that's Museveni said. And of course, Mr. Museveni was speaking at the ceremony to retire 48 general officers of the Uganda People's Defense Force at the State House in Entebbe. And right now, let's cross over to the international news as we see what's happening on the cross borders, still in the aspect of business. And we are going to start it off with Kenya. Kenya recently they have chosen a president right there. And now, inflation. We are talking about inflation in Kenya as inflation hits 8.5 piece as food and fuel prices surge. Kenya's inflation remained elevated at 5-year high in August. Of course, soaring food and fuel prices despite subsidy programs on the staple commodities, the statistics agency reported on Wednesday. Of course, inflation, a measure of cost of living over the last 12 months climbed to a 62-month high of 8.5% from 8.3%. That's last month. So you can see right there what's really taking place. It remarks the third month in a row that the year-on-the-year cost of living measure crossed the upper limit target. That's the target of 7.5%. A trend last witnessed 5 years ago during the previous election cycle. The rise in inflation was mainly due to the increase of prices of commodities, food and non-alcoholic commodities and the food, of course, and non-alcoholic beverages. That's at 15.3%, transport by 7.6%, and housing, water, electricity, gas, other fuels, and also that's leading to a 5.6% increase. That's when we look at other sectors of the economy. And now that's it for Kenya. Now let's cross over to Russia. Russia shuts major gas pipeline, that's to Europe. According to the report here, Russia has completely halted, that's the gas supplies to Europe via a major pipeline, saying repairs will be very essential, will be needed. The Russian state-owned energy giant, that's Gazprom, said the restrictions on the Nord Stream 1 pipe would last for 3 days. Russia has already significantly reduced gas exports via the pipeline. It denies accusations it has used energy supplies as a weapon of war against Western countries. And of course, majority of the Western countries have been spreading this propaganda regarding Russia using the energy resources as a form of mass destruction, something that Russia comes up to deny. It's not something that they take to be true. Of course, the Nord Stream 1 pipeline stretches 1,200 kilometers under the Baltic Sea from the Russian coast near St. Petersburg, of course. That's according to the report here. The pipeline was shut down for 10 years in July and again for repairs, according to Russia. It's now back for repairs ever since it was shut down way back in the days, and recently been operating at 20% capacity because of what Russia describes as faulty equipment. The president of Germany's network regulator has said the country will be able to cope if Russia resumes delivery in the coming days. The steep rise threatens to create a cost of living crisis over the winter months, potentially forcing governments to spend billions to ease the burden. On Tuesday, French energy transition minister, that's Agnès Pannier, accused Russia of using gas as a weapon of war. She was speaking after Gazprom said it would suspend. She was speaking after Gazprom said it would suspend gas delivers to the French energy company that's called Engie. But the Russian president, that's Vladimir Putin, a spokesperson, has rejected these accusations and he insisted that Western sanctions have caused interruptions by damaging that's the Russian infrastructure. He insisted that technological problems caused by sanctions are the only thing preventing Russia from supplying gas via the pipeline, without specifying what the problems were. The most recent controversy has been over a turbine which arrived in Germany after being repaired in Canada and Russia, which Russia refused to take back, urging it was subject to Western sanctions. And that's it for Russia. Let's cross over to India, and of course this time around we are talking business entrepreneurs and tycoons, and today we are talking about Mukesh Ambani. That's India tycoon launches a $25 billion 5G rollout plan. I'm not talking about the global development is transitioning to 5G. We are moving away from the 4G technology to the 5G. This is very influential in terms of promoting the future world order achievements that will be put in place. 5G will be very relevant right there. And of course, the Indian multi-billionaire Mukesh that's Ambani has announced a $25 billion project plan to launch a 5G mobile internet services in the country within 2 months. Talking about 5G, China is one of the countries actually that first embraced 5G. Reason being, I would say that China being a communist country, the government of Uganda, but as the government of China invested billions and billions of money into projects to ensure that the 5G is being constructed, making China the first country to develop 5G technology. And now India is joining the board. Why America has delayed, the reason is that America is largely a capitalist country, and it's not really easy for private companies to raise that amount of money. We're talking about projects that are counting to $500 billion. So you can see how expensive information technology can be. And of course, Mr. Ambani, who heads the telecoms to retail group Resilience Industries, says the high-speed network will be that's introduced first in major cities, including New Delhi and Mumbai. He said that it will be expanded to the rest of India by December 2023. The company is also working with Google to develop a budget 5G smartphone. So they're working on a budget to develop a 5G platform. So to wind up this, the service will be rolled out through Reliance to subsidiary, that's Jio, which is India's largest mobile carrier. Ambani also said that the Reliance was working with the US technology giant, that's Google, to develop the ultra affordable 5G smartphone without giving further details on its price or planned launch of the date. The cheapest 5G ready smartphones in India currently cost $150. Of course, as we wind up this, let's take a look. We are heading into the business tips, and later we shall be heading into the business quotes. And let's get right into the tips at this very moment. And the tip of the day today, we are going to talk about tell your story visually. And of course, here we see that visuals help your message become auctionable. Things like video, whiteboards, images, or other pictures will show you how prospects, how your prospect's problem is and will be solved with what you are really selling. By using images, you create you create contrast, which can create the feeling of urgency, which will help you close the sale. And you know, when I talk about drawing visuals, for those of you who are actually movie fans and you've watched most of these movies, majority before they are put into action, there is a visual plan that is drawn out. And majority actually start as books. You draw the images. You want to see something succeed, but what is that image that you have about that? What is that picture? Or what's that mental picture that you have about what you want to put up at the end of the day? Tell your story in a visual. And when I talk about telling your story, it can be the story of your future, how you want your future to be visually. You want to own this multi-billion-dollar company, but probably you're not even yet sure of how you want it to look like. In terms of structure, probably you want to have the headquarters at one of the biggest cities around any country. It could be around the world. You get East Africa, or even Africa at large at the same time. So it's very important you draw a visual. How do you want it to look like? So that's a very important aspect of life to ensure your growth and development. And now let's wind it up with the business quotes. And the business quote of the day says, if you're passionate about something and you work hard, then I think you will be successful. That's Omidyar, the founder and the chairman of eBay. Of course, we know eBay. It's one of the very, very powerful platforms. If you're passionate about something and you work hard, then I think you will be successful. It's one thing to be passionate about something, and it's another for you to work towards achieving that thing. And this time around, it talks about being practical. Of course, with our ambitions, we shouldn't just be dreaming all the time, but we should also put action and hard work. We should accompany those onto our passions and ambitions to ensure that we actually create impact in society and also to the people that we live with. And that's it for this session. Let's get into a short commercial break. We shall be right back. Stick around. Good morning.